and welcome back to day 2 of your 10-day mindfulness commitment. I'm glad to see you back here again, and I'm excited to go on for one more day of mindfulness with you. So today, the theme of the day is observing, and when we talk about mindfulness and observing, we mean it in contrast to changing, right? So there's this general tendency for people who get into meditation, who get into mindfulness, that they want to get rid of their thoughts, right? Oh, I have all this mental turbulence that I want to sort of get rid of, right? There's some thoughts up there. There's some mental activity that is uncomfortable. I want to get rid of it. And when we have this approach to trying to get rid of thoughts that are uncomfortable, we're trying to sort of get rid of mental activity by making more mental activity, right? Or I'll think my way out of these thoughts, So thinking your way out of thoughts really doesn't work. The only way to get sort of less of this inner turmoil is to sort of let go of it, right? Don't engage in mental activity, but step back, right? So when we observe, which we do in this exercise here that I'm going to guide you through, it means that we're not trying to get rid of distractions, right? When the mind starts drifting and it goes down some rabbit hole of thoughts, we're not like, oh, I shouldn't think, because then you're just down another rabbit hole, right? We'll instead just observe, notice where the mind goes. Oh, it's out there, and come back, right? And it's quite a clear distinction, but a really important distinction also to make, that don't try and change the content of your mind. Just observe it, let it fall down by itself, right? If you stop trying to change anything, it will do it by itself. So we're going to try and bring that approach into our practice today. So let's do some mindfulness again. You know how it goes, just like yesterday. Get comfortable, either seated or lying down, preferably seated with your spine straight. And keep your eyes open to begin with. We're going to practice a little bit of mindfulness. So starting off with your eyes open, just take a moment to take in the scenery in front of you. And don't go looking around for something in particular, but just notice what you can already see. What's already here before you start moving your eyes. Becoming aware. We're going to take some deep breaths just to settle in here. So in through the nose. All right, one more time here, loud and clear. Wonderful. And a last breath before closing the eyes. And allowing the eyes to close now. All right. And we're going to begin today's exercise just like we did yesterday, just by bringing the awareness to the physical sensation of touch. Noticing the contact with the seat. Gloves touching your skin, your hands in your lap. Noticing any sounds from inside the room, or maybe outside the room. Maybe there's any taste. Maybe there's any smell. Just sort of tuning in through the senses to being here right now and doing some mindfulness. So we're gonna, just like yesterday, make a quick scan of the body. And very important here, not to try and change the body, but just observing, noticing how it is. So starting at the top of the head, together with me, we'll just gently move down here through the forehead, to the eyes, to the nose, just guiding the awareness down here through the cheeks, to the mouth, and to the chin. Nothing to do, just becoming aware. The back of the head, throat, and the neck. And bringing this awareness down to the shoulders, out through the upper arms, to the elbows, to the lower arms, out through the hands and all the way out through the fingers. Nothing to change, just building a picture of how the body is today. And continuing up to the torso, to the chest, to the upper back, and down to the stomach and the lower back, to the hips, thighs, down through the knees, the lower legs, out through the feet, and all the way out to the toes. Again, there's nothing right and wrong here. It's simply just becoming aware of how we are today. So in the same way, we're gonna check in with the mind for a moment. Just notice if there's any apparent mood, emotions, feelings, thoughts. Having nothing to change, but just observing. It's like going to the cinema. You only need to look at the screen. The rest will do what it needs to do by itself. Wonderful. So bringing now the awareness back to the body, to the breath, and in particular, the movement of the chest. How it rises on an inhale, and how it descends on an exhale. And no need to breathe in any special way, just being aware of the breath as it is naturally. And today, we're going to try and count the breath to help us stay with the breath. So, on an inhale, we count 1. And on an exhale, we count 2. And counting 3 on an inhale, and 4 on an exhale. And continuing all the way up to 10, and starting over from 1 again. So try that off now, just staying with the breath and counting the breath. And when the mind starts to wander, just realizing the distraction and coming back again to counting the breath. And it's very normal for the mind to get distracted, start wandering. Don't worry if it does. Just come back again to the breath for a few more moments here. And now for a moment, just letting completely go of that effort, of any counting, of any staying with the breath, and just allow the mind to do what it wants to do here, having nothing to do. And coming back to the body, just noticing again the physical sensation of touch, contact with the seat, clothes, hands in your lap, noticing any sounds, any smell, any taste, anything that can get you back into being right here, right now. And in your own time, when you feel ready, just gently opening the eyes again and coming back to being here. And take a moment to notice how it feels to be you in this moment. Not trying to change anything, just observing. So I wonder how that was for you, trying to incorporate today that idea of observance instead of changing. Because we're always quite busy with trying to control everything. But in this exercise, it's all about letting go of some of that control and just observing the mind as it plays out. And by doing this, we actually gain more control. We'll talk a bit more about this and learn more about this later. I'll see you again for day 3 tomorrow.